Well, every time I bring you on this podcast,
Oh, I just feel like cream soda now. Yeah.
1, 2,
I win.
3.
I already won. It's over.
The tradition continues.
Why are my legs sticky?
Anything happened to you this week?
No, I think I mentioned most of this stuff last week. To be honest,
Right.
I have a job interview tomorrow morning, and then we're going to Kentucky the following day to bury my grandmother. That's about it. I mean, but I'm pretty sure I mentioned most of that.
Yeah.
Last time, so.
Yep. Yeah, we had Thanksgiving. I just got to play basketball for the first time in a long time, like with a group, and I killed it.
Are they all older people?
Not all of them.
Like, I'm just wondering, like, are you like, yeah, I killed it, but then, like, if we were to see the people you played against, we'd be like, well, of course you did. You should.
Well, I made 14 threes, and I shot 14 out of 19 from 3, which is,
Sounds like they got
good.
no defense.
well, I was shooting really well. And I was shooting from pretty far out, a lot of my threes, too. So
Oh, we're Steph Currying it. Got it. Gotcha. Yeah, half court stuff. Got
not
it.
that far, but I was probably shooting at like normal NBA 3, but it looks like you're way far back when you're playing a high school threes.
Right, I got you. You know, that's one question I had when I was younger, by the way. You know, so my dad explained to me that the court gets bigger for basketball. Like the 3 goes out further and all that stuff. But, you know, I'm like, well, why doesn't the football field get bigger as you
Right.
go up, right? It's the same size field no matter what level you're at, high school and all
Right.
that, or even junior high. I mean, it's still the same size field.
Right.
So I thought that was kind of weird.
So the reason for that is actually pretty simple. It's that if you left the court the same, the three-pointer would become too valuable. So if the three-pointer was at high school 3, it would pros shoot it at too high of a percentage. So it would overvalue to 2, and it would like completely change the way you play basketball.
But I would feel like they just got to step up your defense.
You can't though.
What do you mean?
I mean, you can, but
Right.
it would just completely change.
But see, you also got to think
basketball.
if it's not as far out, that makes everybody come in tighter and closer.
Exactly, which it really sucks too, because pros are a lot bigger, and
Right.
expanding it makes it more exciting. It makes it
I'm not saying they shouldn't do it.
a more
I just
a
don't
better
necessarily understand why football doesn't. Now, I take that back now that I think about it. The ball does get bigger for football.
game. Yeah,
So, I mean, I guess there are some changes when it comes to that. But I always thought it was funny. Now, does the basketball get bigger? Does that change?
Mm-mm.
No? Same size?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah. Women have a different size basketball, but
You shouldn't have said that.
it's true. Actually, I don't think
Canceled.
pro women. I think pro women play with a men's ball though. I'm pretty sure. Not sure. I think they play with the 29.5.
Didn't you just say they had a smaller one that they played with?
They do in high school and college, but they might not. I don't think they do in pro.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. I could be wrong on that. I don't.
Are there
Nobody watches WNBA.
Do you know if the 3-pointers were is it equal to the male pro?
It's college. It's male college.
Male college.
And female, yeah.
It's like on the golf course, you got the male tee off and the female tee off.
Really?
Yeah, there's
I
2
didn't
different
know
tee
that.
offs. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
I
if you
never
ever
played golf.
Well, I mean, I don't really play that often, but my dad used to play a lot, so we went. But yeah, you got the tees you're supposed to hit off from, which is I guess like the pro tees or like.
Does
where you're
it
supposed
really
to,
make a difference where you're
quite a bit
starting?
closer. Oh yeah.
How
Well,
much
if you're-
farther? How much closer is it though?
It differs for each place, but
Right.
you know, if you're closer up, I mean, it cuts way off from,
Yeah.
you know. But I don't know. I don't play golf enough to know. Like, I'll hit from the girl tee. I don't care. I probably need the extra help.
For sure.
Get one of those automatic putters.
Well, we can go right into questions.
Did you send me questions though?
There were 2 questions
Okay.
that we had left over from last time. They're at the bottom. The questions are at the bottom.
I got you. Yeah, I see them now. So, swimming Big Creek in winter.
That's not a question.
Oh,
but
sorry. I thought it started there. You're right. When I got to the second part, I'm like, so are tattoos a sin?
You want to answer this one?
That's fine. I can give my opinion on it. That's fine. I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, I got 5. Yeah, something like that. I got like 5 tattoos. I like them. I mean, I don't know. So in my mind, I don't think they're a sin because I don't see it being like some people when I was growing up usually thought like if anybody had a tattoo, that was going to be like the sign of like the devil, right? But as you know, that's not actually going to be the sign that you get. So I personally don't think it's really a sin. I don't feel like what do you call it? So like things that pressure me like through God that I talk to are different. I don't have any like where I feel bad for getting tattoos or I ask to be forgiven for tattoos. So I mean, you know what I mean? Like I'm not, I don't feel burdened. There you go. I don't feel burdened by the tattoos like I did something wrong.
Right.
Now, does that mean I'm right? Probably not. Maybe not. Who knows? I'll find out in the end if that was okay or not, But I don't think that it is. I do think a lot of the older generation people still feel that way because it originally was like a tattoo was like the sign of the devil if you got a tattoo because you're marking your body forever, kind of. I mean, you can get it removed, but yeah. And I've also heard your body's a temple, supposed to treat it that way, so you're marking the temple, I guess. So I mean, however you want to go with it.
So this is my opinion, just from the Bible, and I've studied this issue quite a bit just because curious about it. Short answer, no. I would say it's not a sin. Long answer, it does say in the Bible not to mark yourself in honor of the dead like the heathen. What exactly that means, I don't know, because that could be like cutting yourself, or it could be a tattoo. A lot of people think it's tattoo, but if you like have a tattoo that has the date of your dead grandfather on it, it's like doesn't mean you're going to hell. Just like it's your body, get saved. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't suggest you get a tattoo in honor of the dead. I wouldn't suggest it. Right. But if you have one, who cares?
So my thing is, and maybe I'm looking at it in too much of a simple form for some people, but I think I know a sin is supposed to be a sin regardless of what it is. So, but I feel like if I feel like there's bigger sins out there, but at the same time, it's not. Yeah. From what I understand, there's not levels, right? Like a sin's a sin regardless. Or how do you feel on that?
Okay, so definitely there's levels to sin. But
now is that with?
So hear me out. So as far as how saved you are, no. So like, this is a Lutheran teaching. It's not really like this isn't precisely what I believe, but I think it's a good example here. Is that there's vertical righteousness and horizontal righteousness. So like vertical righteousness being like between you and God. So like between you and God, if you have faith and Jesus is covering you, Like there's no difference between the sins. Like you're either forgiven or you're not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you've
Gotcha.
broken one commandment, you've broken them all, right? But horizontally and like the effect it has on everyone else and yourself here, there's a big difference between levels to sin. You know, some sins have big, major consequences,
Right.
well, and can affect you spiritually too. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
they can damage you. So it's not a matter of like, is it harder to forgive them? It's just like they are heavier. You know, it's a bigger deal here on Earth.
So I got a quick. Since we're diving into this stuff, I got a question for you. Then, well,
Okay.
let's see what you think. Can you come back and be forgiven for any sin?
Yes.
I don't like that. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't like the idea of that. If some dudes out there messing with kids, I feel like that's unforgivable. Or if there's a guy going around murdering people, you know, he just ended 3-4 people's lives or more, you know. I don't know. I don't like the idea that he can, or whoever, I guess I should say he, she, whatever, can just go like and find God and then be like, oh, I've realized I've done a wrong thing now. It's a little late. You should know that with that. You should know something that extreme was already wrong.
Right. Well, I mean, of course, to push back pretty easily, I could just say, well, you know, who are you to say that? Haven't you done things wrong that someone else might say that that's unforgivable?
But I have not taken
you haven't
somebody's
done
life.
that, but you've done other things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's fine. That's fine if someone else bring that. I don't feel it's on the same level though.
Right, but so
if I
but like
if
culturally, like in some cultures, they think they have to sacrifice kids in order to, you know, appease their gods. That's what they grew up in. Is it? You know what I'm saying? How serious is that then?
yeah, it's still very serious.
Right, but I'm saying like your moral compass when you're not saved is basically not there.
Okay.
Like it's either there or it's not there. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying.
So you might think you have morals, but it has no base on anything. So like
Right.
where do you stop? Nowhere. So if someone's done things to that extreme, I don't think there's grace for them here on earth. So for example, if someone's murdered someone, they get saved, I still want you to face the death penalty. It's in God's hands as far as I'm concerned.
So let's put this. Let's get it to the actual point of like, okay, so what's big right now is Dahmer, right?
Okay.
I watched the show on that, and at the end of it, supposedly, now I know some people could lie. I'm not sure if he was or not. It could be genuine, but then he talks about how he found God and what he did was wrong, and
Right.
seeing, you know, not necessarily the error of his way, but he did realize, or at least in the movie, it made it seem like he realized, okay, what I did was wrong.
Right.
Because he was going off of like feelings, like I felt like I wanted to kill this person. I felt like I wanted to do these things or whatever. Mm-hmm. Kind of like what you said, you know, I guess his moral compass or whatever. Because he, maybe at the time, he kind of acted like he knew what he was doing was wrong. But
every man does what is right in his own eyes. That's what it says. So
it's just so crazy. That if you know, I just feel like if I, you know, maybe I make it through, maybe I don't. But if I make it through and then he's there, I'm gonna be like, why are you here? You know what I mean?
I think it's going to be really clear when we get there. Like, that's an enemy of God. I hate them. Or he's not. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing.
I just feel like you can't come back from certain things, man. I mean, I think, you know, as long as so it's just in my own mind the way I look at it. Like, nobody's free of that. Like, everybody sins in some way. Mm-hmm. Most of us, normally, for most of us, probably sin in a way that only hurts us. But there are a few that hurt other people. And there is a slow step to that. So like cheating, obviously, like on your wife, right? So that's a sin that also hurts her. But I also don't think that's like super crazy to where versus like if you kill somebody, I feel like that's way above everything else.
In what way are you killing somebody? You know what I'm
Like
saying?
if I went and got a knife right now and just stabbed you, I mean,
Right, but that's what if
that's what
what
I'm
if
kinda
it's
talking about.
aggravated? You know what I'm saying?
I
So
don't-
what?
Are you aggravating me with a knife?
Well, there's levels. There's levels of killing
and
someone
we're
too.
sword
Is what I'm
fighting or
saying.
what?
There's levels of murder
Yes,
too.
no, I
you
agree.
know?
I agree. There are levels to that, but obviously, I'm picking on like serial kill people who are literally going out picking some random person and killing them because they have some feeling of whatever.
I definitely believe that they can come back from that because they're doing. Yeah, the chances of it are basically zero, but it's kind of just not my business. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
You can only do what you can do here on Earth, which is great that you found God. I'm still going to give you the death penalty. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm not
And it's
saying.
just-
I'm not saying if they say they found God that we trust them and let them back out. That's not. That's not what I'm saying. But I just it blows my mind that you can go so wrong here like that to that extreme. Going wrong, but going wrong to that extreme is just it's hard for me to wrap my mind around. They can find God in the last year of their life sitting on death row and like, yeah, I'm forgiven now as they, shoot him up with whatever it kills him.
Yeah.
It's just tough. It's tough for me to wrap my head around.
Yeah.
But
I understand that. I've often wondered the same thing, but you just kind of what grounds me is just like, well, what have you even just had in your thoughts, what have you almost done? You know what I'm
right.
saying?
No, I agree.
And it can humble you real fast too.
Doesn't humble me.
Yeah.
No,
Really?
No. Now if I was saying you shouldn't do something, then yeah, that would humble me but now if you killed somebody because you're just like, I just felt like it, then there's nothing you can throw back at me to humble me at that point.
I see what you're saying.
But
Kind of.
like right now, like if I said whatever you just, I'm like, yeah, there's stuff maybe I've done worse or something on the same level that you can throw back at me, and I completely understand that and get that. But when it's something that extreme, I'm like, okay, yeah, I stole a candy bar, whatever, you killed somebody.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I definitely agree that there are levels to sin. Like, I don't really see how you can come back from that either. But
right. And I'm not saying that they can't, but I'm just saying it's hard for me to wrap my mind around that is all I'm saying.
Yeah. So are tattoos a sin?
We went down like a rabbit hole. No,
I mean, yeah, I say no.
I say no.
Doesn't mean I say go
get one.
Get a bunch or something. I'm just saying I don't. Obviously, you're not going to hell if you got a tattoo.
Jason gonna look like Post Malone and like he just starts going downhill, covered head to toe. I don't even know how to answer this one. Where does canola oil come from? Canola?
What's canola?
Is it like granola?
You want to you want to just Google it? That's interesting though. Like I have no idea where that comes from, but yet everything we do is deep fried in it. It's interesting. Watch as it's like some from like animal testicles or something.
Oh no, I didn't mean to do that.
We fry all our food in it.
It's a plant. Canola plant.
A canola plant.
It's like a yellow flower.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. All right. Comes from a canola plant, whatever that is. Excuse me.
So it says canola oil comes from the seeds of the canola plant. One of the most widely grown crops in Canada. Small yellow flowers. Huh. So, okay. That's where it
Learned
comes
something
from.
new. I'll probably cut that.
Yeah. I never even thought about that. Like, what makes somebody choose a plant or a seed and try to make something out of it? Like, why did they happen to pick that one out of all the other things that have seeds?
Right?
We pick, whoever decided to pick that one and made it into an oil.
There's got to be more that we haven't figured out yet, you would think.
Well, you wonder if they took a bunch of different ones, made into oil, and then that was the one they liked the most, maybe, or did whatever they wanted the most. I don't even know what it does, to be honest with you. It's just an oil, right? You cook with it?
Yeah, that's what we deep fry stuff in is canola oil.
So, I mean, maybe the other ones you can't get up to the right temperature and it does something weird to it.
Right, well, like, olive oil just doesn't taste very good, and you can't get it very hot either. Like, it burns really at a low temperature.
Right.
So you can't cook it, like, near, like, canola oil. For example.
I don't know why I sent this back to you, but so you're gonna have it in yours.
I thought I got a ding.
So, any of those you want to talk about, bring up? Right.
So you were talking about doing the polar plunge.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'll do it. Right now, so last year, me and one of the guys made a video. It was his idea of what he wanted to do. It's still on my YouTube page. I got tons of views on that. I think mainly from like local people because I put it on Facebook. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people followed that to watch the video. It turned out really cool. I filmed it, edited it, and then I did a voiceover. But the whole idea was his of what he wanted to do in this video. It turned out really cool. So he kind of did like the weird, like, like has like the dogs that are shaking in cages. And so he kind of did something similar to where he looks like he's outside and he's cold and he's shivering and like peeking behind like a tree. And kind of made it similar to kind of like that. And then I found like a free song that was kind of like a sad music. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously I can't do the actual song because I'm sure I'd have to pay for it probably.
Yeah.
And then I did like the sad voiceover, like talking about him and like what he's wanting to do. And it actually came out really well. This year, I don't know how well it'll come out, but I've been doing pictures for all the guys that are doing the polar plunge. So I've been posting a lot of those on Facebook for them, and then they'll take it and post their own stuff with them. I wanted to do it, but every time it falls close to a comp, and I can't take that chance going out there and slipping and falling and ripping something. That'd be my luck.
I see. So I just figured I'd tell the story of when I did something very similar to a polar plunge. It was winter and we were out like working on doing some wood and stuff. It was me and Dad and Michael and some other people. And we were just like looking at the creek and it was cold and we were looking at the creek and Michael goes, "Hey Jason, I'll give you $75 if you swim across the creek and back."
It's a deal, man.
And Dad was like, "Yeah, I'll give you $75 too if you." And I was like, "Heck yeah, I'm doing that." So I go out there. I'm in winter clothing, so I have to strip down I kept my jeans on, which was stupid, and jumped in.
Yeah, rookie mistake. It's all right.
I swam across the creek, and I tell you what, when I got to the other side, it took everything in me to turn around. I was so cold. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And I was like, if I sit on the other side of this creek, I'm gonna die before they get me.
Pretty much.
So
Yeah. So, I mean, you should have like got specific rules, because if you could have just stayed in, touched it, and came back without, did you get completely out?
stupidly,
Because that's more of a mistake, right?
yeah.
So if you,
I don't think
like,
I got completely out. I think I was
because
like
if you
here,
could swim
but-
across and like touch and then like
Right.
come back and it counts,
Yeah.
that would have been the better.
But I didn't. I mean, I only got out for like 1 second, but in that 1 second, I went,
yeah.
you know, like a million times, and then I was
Well,
like, I
they,
have to do this, so I jump back in.
Did you have a fire or anything like on this side? Like what? Like
No.
right, that's what you should have
So-
done for sure too.
So I swim back, and I get like 3/4 of the way back, and I cramp up.
Ooh.
And so I just go, and I'm just praying. I thought I'll be close enough to where I'm like gonna touch the bottom. I was not.
Like
So-
right in the middle.
So I was like almost there, and I was like, "Vroom,"
Oh no.
and I just let myself sink to where I hit the bottom, and then I popped back up, and I made it.
Was your dad
know.
freaking out?
No,
I think I would have been like, because it's cold, and then you just see like stop and like go under like.
he knows I'm smart enough not to just let myself die.
Oh,
But-
that's rough, dude.
Yeah, but so I got out, and I was just like, I just
how
took
old
off.
were you when you did this?
It's just a few years ago.
Okay,
I was probably 15,
15.
I'd say.
It's not too bad. And then, what time of year are we talking?
Winter, like
Well,
winter.
What's,
It was like
I mean, what's winter? You got what? It starts in December.
it. Right, I think it was like December.
Oh,
It had been frozen. It had just been frozen
okay.
earlier that week, and it had melted.
still pretty cold.
So
Now, if
it
you
was
would've
probably
said-
around like 35
if you
or
said
something like that.
like end of January, beginning of February, then
Yeah,
of course it might be like you could have walked across it maybe by then. Who knows?
right, exactly. But I took off as soon as I got out. I just took off for the house, and my body was on fire.
Oh, yeah.
But of course, first it was just completely numb.
Right.
And then it got on fire as I got back to the house, and then I went to I wanted to get in the shower to warm up, and I had it all the way on the coldest water, and it just felt like it was burning hot.
So I do ice baths
Oh yeah,
pretty regularly.
awesome.
Oh, now
Sorry, my leg just cramped horribly.
I will say that the water you were in
gonna try that
is
again.
colder. So when you do an ice bath, it's supposed to be 55 degrees, which I know in most people's head probably listen to this, and it did for me. I go, that's not that cold.
Oh, it's cold.
But when it's water, that's pretty. Because I was thinking like 55, like that ain't bad, But I'm thinking of it like outside weather, 55, which is not bad.
Yeah.
But then I just swimming trunks is all I got on, and then you're supposed to stay in there for up to 10 minutes, and I do the full 10 minutes. The first 5, for some reason, actually easier. Just getting used to the cold of the water. So when I first get in it, you're so focused on trying to get settled and get your whole body in and just kind of get used to it. And then you're like, oh, 5 minutes has already passed. I
Right.
feel like I've been here wrong. But then the last 5 minutes is like, is it over yet? Is it over yet? It's like, nope. So it feels like it goes forever.
I know Joe Rogan does it at 36 degrees or something.
Right. Now, I don't know how
And
long he
he
stays
does-
in it.
He said the longest he's done is 17 minutes, but he usually does 8 minutes.
Goodness
But
gracious,
he has,
man.
he pays a lot of money for the ones that they stay moving,
Right.
so you can't create a heat,
like a warm spot.
right?
Right.
And so he's just but he had to build up a tolerance to get to
Right.
that cold.
That's crazy though, man.
yeah.
That's a low. So I just looked up what you're supposed to do for an ice bath, and that's the general rule of thumb. It's 55. Probably don't want to go any lower than 50, and then it says not to go any lower than 50 and not to go longer than 10 minutes. Because supposedly, I guess at that temperature or lower, for longer than 10 minutes, you can start to develop issues from the cold water.
Right. Right. You have to like gradually work up to getting colder and colder if you feel like you need to, I guess. If you don't.
I'll be honest with you, when I get out, I feel great, but like all my joints feel awesome.
That's awesome. I've been tempted to do it.
If you have like any like joint pain like after basketball or like from lifting weights or anything, I always try to do it like on after deadlift day. And you also you don't want to do it immediately because you're supposed to have swelling in your joints after you lift and work out. Like that's natural.
Right.
So you really want to give it like a couple hours like after anyways for your body to go through its normal process. But after that you get an ice bath. I get out, dude, I'm like I feel like all my joints feel great. I can move around. I got like no pain. Now granted it don't last till the next day, but if you can continue to do it, it will help you over time.
Right. Yeah. It's awesome. So yeah, another little well, here, let's go back into like more deeper and then we can come back out to the story again. So, this is, I don't know, it's just a thought I had, was like, where is the line with self-esteem of like how should you view yourself into where you obviously don't have too low of a self-esteem, so you think, to where you spiral downward, you think you're depressed, to where you think you're worth less than people generally think you are.
Right.
And then, obviously if you have too high of a self-esteem, then you're a jerk. You know what I mean? Like
sometimes,
you think you're,
sure.
You think you're more awesome than people really think you are.
Right.
And then you actually are.
King of the world.
So like, obviously, like the easy answer is like, you should have the same amount of self-esteem as people give you, basically. Like, whatever people think you are is kind of what you should think you are. But a lot of, anyone that's ever, like, really made it in anything, nobody ever thought that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
So, like, where, I guess it's just, like, right above where everyone thinks you are is where you should try to think you are. You know what I mean?
I mean, it sounds like you're kind of looking at it from a standpoint of making something of yourself, I guess.
Yeah, just like overall competence in the world. So
I feel, so my first thought that comes to mind when you say like you should feel even however people think you are or whatever. The thing is, when a lot of like if you have low self-esteem and you're someone who voices your low self-esteem, like, oh no, you're not that ugly or you're not that whatever, like they're lying most of the time.
You think?
I think so.
I don't think so at all.
Listen, man, if there is, and I've seen it though, but that's the thing. If there's somebody who's like 300 pounds and they're like all self, like, oh, I'm so fat, like, oh, you're not that fat. Yes, they are.
Well, yeah, in that case, sure. But I've seen plenty of people that are perfectly
I'm not saying it doesn't go the other
way.
way around, but I'm saying when it's something, when they have low self-esteem about something that is true, I mean, we can see ourselves. We know if we're overweight or if we're probably a little more on the ugly scale. I think most people who are know that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least that's the way I think about it. Anyways, so, oh, you're not that ugly. Like, I've seen some pretty good looking people. Like, I'm pretty low on that scale, Or if I say, oh, I'm fat, like, oh, you're not that fat. I'm like, compared to who?
Right.
Like you comparing me to a beluga whale? Sure, I'm not that fat. I don't know. I feel like some of those things are kind of lies. Now, if you're an average person, you don't have any like you're not like what I consider like just super ugly, super fat. So you have low self-esteem for no reason other than just you mentally for whatever reason think you are. Then yes, it can also go the other way. I've seen people who have low self-esteem that shouldn't have low self-esteem, but they do for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I can go both ways, but I don't know where you should be. Because just based on other people, you don't really know truly what other people... Because most people will lie to be nice and polite. So that's what
Right.
you're supposed to do.
Well, take whatever they give you, in my opinion.
And
That's
nine
the-
times out of
that's
10,
got to be
it's-
the healthiest thing, right?
I feel like 9 times out of 10 it's a lie.
But still take it. Because if
You
you're
shouldn't. You
Because
shouldn't.
if you're super high on your horse, people aren't going to give you anything.
You shouldn't take it. You should want the truth is what you should want.
Okay.
Well, I'm just
mean,
saying this.
yeah,
So when I
but-
was 305 pounds, right, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
oh, I'm fat, like, and some people would go, oh, you're not that fat. But then I see myself in pictures. I go, no, I
Right,
am that
that's
fat.
not
Right?
true.
That's
Yeah.
lies that they're telling me because they want to be nice.
Right,
And
I
all,
see what you're
and
saying
all
now,
they're
yeah.
doing is
I
keeping
agree with
me.
you.
In my opinion, they're keeping me down.
Right.
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 Because they're saying, oh, you're not the fat. So then I get, oh, well, I don't need to diet then, or I don't really need to do that because I'm not that
Right.
bad. And some people take it that far. Now
I see what you mean, yeah.
but I knew, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely, I don't care what you say. You know, I'm, yeah. And so, but some people are blinded by what other people say because they're just trying to be nice.
Right. I see. Yeah. Right.
But then there's people you can't knock down,
Right.
no matter what.
Yeah.
But it stems from years of them being like the quarterback on the football team, dating the hot cheerleader that's like the lead cheerleader on the squad, and then they're prom king and queen, and they're he's winning all this stuff, popularity awards. So then it goes to his head. So now he thinks he's way up here. But after high school, it's like, dude, you're with the rest of us now,
Right.
People don't realize, and it's hard for people to see it when you're in school, which I do understand because I was the same way. You get out of school, none of this matters.
Yeah.
None of it. Not one thing matters.
Except academics do kind of matter. They do
Sure,
kind of matter.
yeah. But I just meant like the popularity part.
Right, for sure.
Like
Definitely, yeah.
having the self-esteem of if I'm good looking or not good looking, or where do I compare to everybody else.
Right, yeah.
And you're also in a small sample pool. Once you get in the real world,
Yeah.
there's way more people to compare you to now.
Exactly, yeah.
I always like going to Walmart
you
to
can
make
be
myself feel better.
You can be, I'm a great basketball player in Mount Vernon.
Right.
What if I
Well, just like I'm a really good power lifter for this area.
Mhm.
Mount Vernon for sure. Evansville, yeah. But in all, I'm ranked like 53rd or something like that. 53rd.
That's really good.
But it's not high enough up to go to Worlds. It's not
Yeah.
high enough up to win nationals. They only give the top 3 spots, like a medal or whatever. You got first, second, third. Everybody else they don't care about.
Right.
So I have a long way to go before I would reach any of those guys. And
Right.
probably at my age is not attainable. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I
if
know
you
what
look
you
at- so as far as self-esteem goes,
Right.
that really humbles you. You can look at it and
Yeah.
go, okay, I'm 53rd. Yeah, I'm above all these hundreds of other people, but I'm not nowhere near the top.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I got that middle one that you were talking about. Just, I'm not too high, not too low, but right in the middle.
Yeah. But like, shouldn't part of you think that you can reach the top, or at least work toward the top?
I don't down myself when I see that, because I have accomplishments now that I can kind of hold on to for the time being, however long they last. I'm on the record board or the legend board at the gym now, for deadlift and total. So how long it stays up, I don't know. I got my trainer has decided to come out of retirement and start lifting again, and he's actually younger than me, and we're in the same weight class. So very well that could eventually come down if he continues on, depending on how far he goes. I don't know.
See what you mean? Yeah. Well, back to story. Do you have a story you had? So it's not just all me? Or do you want me to just go for it?
Let me look. I think I got maybe 1 or 2 still saved. Up on the rooftop. Okay, I do have one.
Okay.
So, not really a story, but it's kind of like my own question to you, and then
Okay.
I have an answer for me as well because I think this about myself.
Cool.
So, do you watch something like a show or a YouTube channel or something that you think it's weird that you like, or other people, if they found out that you liked to watch this certain thing, that they go, oh, that's kind of strange. I wouldn't peg you for a guy that would watch something like that.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Okay. Is it something you can share or no? That's a very weird, like yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm that way a lot, where I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of all over the place.
True.
And so, like, you wouldn't expect, a very country Christian white guy in southern Indiana to, like, not have anything to do with country culture, which I don't feel like I do. I mostly hate it, actually.
Oh, okay.
Which I think we've been over that.
Yeah, kind of.
But,
well, I think that conversation was more of you didn't like country singers for the way they
right. I don't like
make
the culture
country
either.
people look.
Right. But that's kind of where the culture stems from.
But you said you like to fish, and
Right.
so you like to do these country things.
Right. I love to do those things.
Right. You just
But
like how
not
they
like,
paint.
but not like with a cowboy hat on and cowboy boots.
It
and
is
going,
weird how
"Twang,"
they
you
think
know what I mean?
everybody wears a cowboy hat or talks that way.
Yeah.
I kind of get that.
You know
for
what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah. But
Like,
anyways,
I just want to fish. I don't want to, like, be a part of your clique. I don't know.
it's like you have to wear a cowboy hat. You have to dip.
Yeah.
You gotta drink whiskey,
Exactly.
which I do all those things. No,
In the back of a truck.
with my old dog Blue.
Yeah. Views and plays.
So maybe you know this question.
Okay.
How do artists make money now? Because when I was a kid, you bought their CD, and that's how they generate CD sales or record sales,
Right.
and that's how they would make money. And then when I got older, you still bought the songs, but it was on like an iPod or
And you can still do that.
MP3 player or
Yeah.
whatever. But like now, I can put on Spotify and I can put anybody in, and I got the free version of Spotify, so I listen to like a commercial every
Right.
15 minutes, which I'm fine with.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I find it strange now. Like, how are they making money off of that now?
Right. So you get paid for plays.
Okay.
So, like Spotify, for example,
what if you're dead?
Whoever you left your royalties to gets it.
Oh, they're getting a lot.
So
from
like,
me.
so like, their wife or whatever.
Right. You wouldn't marry.
So like
Go on.
Spotify, for example, pays like very little per stream. It's like 0.00081, I think, is what you get from Spotify per play.
That's a bit. Can we just do a penny per play or something? I don't understand. I don't know how much change I'm getting per play.
Which, and that adds up a lot pretty quick once
Well,
you get
sure.
millions
Sure.
and then, and all your streaming platforms. So like,
So do they all do the same thing then?
so all the streaming platforms do, YouTube. So like YouTube pays the least. YouTube doesn't pay very well at all.
Right.
Spotify is like next down, and then the rest kind of play, because Spotify promotes you really well. Like they try to promote smaller artists, and they so they pay a little less, but it's like well worth it because getting streams and views is worth it overall, because
So how
you
are they
get fans.
How are they pushing the smaller artists? Because when I hear,
'Cause-
because the only time they ever push anybody, it's like a commercial, like so and so's new album's out, but it's always like right now they're pushing Taylor Swift because her new CD's out.
Well, it's because Spotify is playlist based, so they'll whenever you release music, you can apply to get onto playlists, and so they'll place your song on a playlist. So like a lot of people follow, like Beast Mode playlist has like 5 50 million followers or something like that.
Gotcha.
And so like if you get on beast mode playlist, you're getting like
Doesn't that ruin
millions
a playlist,
and millions
though?
of views. No, because they like make sure it's a good song. They're not gonna just
No, but like, okay, so let's say I have a playlist that I like, right? That I listen to, but then Taylor Swift comes out. I don't like her song, but they put it on that playlist, so every once in a while I hit it. But because I'm also got the free version, you only get like a couple skips or whatever, then you're out. So like, every time she comes,
it's gonna fit the playlist. So like they're not gonna put
Oh, I see what you're saying.
they're not gonna put a Taylor Swift song.
Well,
on
I
there.
thought you said like, okay, so like this Beast playlist, you want to be on it.
So you can apply to be on it. They can deny you.
Oh, I gotcha.
So like usually when you're smaller, you apply on smaller playlists.
Gotcha.
And you can get on smaller playlists. Once you get bigger, you can maybe get on a big playlist.
So I also have my own playlist.
Yeah, they can't put it on your playlist.
Yeah.
If
Well,
you
I
make a
know they
playlist, it's your playlist. Yeah.
I understand that, but that's what I mean by like that somebody's earned a lot of views from me or plays from me already because the playlist isn't very long,
Right.
but I enjoy those songs and I actually do listen to that playlist often.
Right.
So they're definitely, but they're dead.
Yeah.
They weren't married. They didn't have any kids. So I don't know who it goes to. Maybe his mom or something.
Right. Or
Nobody.
sadly, maybe the label.
That's true. Yeah, I wonder about that.
But yeah.
We really went down a rabbit hole on this one.
Yeah, I like it. But yeah, and then you get paid for, like you can buy songs on iTunes and Google and stuff, and
Can you
you
still
get
do
paid
that?
for that.
I'll tell you, because I used to do that, and I did have a group of songs, but I had it on Google. Well, Google sold out to YouTube Music.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh,
So Google doesn't
then I
have
guess
their own
iTunes
playlist
is the only
anymore.
one you can do it on.
You still do. Apple still has their own and stuff. It's just Google sold theirs to, and they gave me like a warning.
So you
like,
can't buy songs on Google Play
not
anymore?
Google, no, not anymore. You have to go through YouTube, and like so,
That
all the
sucks.
songs I bought are now on my profile on YouTube.
Okay.
So I have to go to YouTube. I had to download their app, and then like all the songs I bought are on there.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
I don't even listen to those anymore
Right.
because I got Spotify,
Right.
and and Spotify lets you make your own playlist. Just
Yeah.
you can listen 3-4 songs commercial, another 2-3 songs commercial. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not enough that it's annoying.
Right.
So
like, and another way that smaller artists, like Spotify helps smaller artists is like if you've played through all your songs in your playlist, they like go to just other songs that
yeah.
fit,
I have
kind of fit
I have
that.
noticed that because I've fallen asleep before and then woke up I'm like, this is not on my playlist.
Right.
But it's in the same genre as
Right.
the playlist. So
And so that they usually will try to, promote smaller or bigger, but it just kind of fits your thing,
Right.
and so it helps people get found. But yeah, and that's how you get paid. And then people still buy physical copies. A lot of people buy physical
now
copies.
I have thought about buying like actual.
And vinyl too.
Record,
Vinyl's a big thing too.
So I thought about doing that. So I have a record player, and then I have records, but all my records I have are older stuff, like Buck Owens and Elvis Presley, stuff like that. So I've actually looked and found like the guy that I liked. So I like Juice WRLD, by the way. That's who I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah.
I have a lot of his. I like a lot of his stuff. I just really like the way he sounds, all his music, and then
Yeah, his mother owns his rights.
Oh,
by the
okay.
way. I do know. Yeah.
okay, so that's what that's why I said mother, but I wasn't positive. Who knows? Because he only had a girlfriend, so I figured it probably wouldn't be her. But he's got you can buy his records like actually like on vinyl and stuff, and
Right.
I've thought about doing that because I thought it was really cool. But also, I don't need to. I mean, that's the problem with Spotify and like technology now. Is like I don't really need that stuff, and I don't know. I like the stuff I have, the older stuff, because like Christmas time, I got like Elvis Presley's Christmas and stuff. So
Right.
I'll put that on the record here soon. So, but other than
There is something about a physical copy though. Like,
there is.
you know what I mean? I really enjoy it.
It is funny when you compare like my childhood, we had VHS tapes. And so we would have, I mean, they take up so much space compared to like a DVD. So you got this giant like bookcase like full of VHSs. And then at that time you still had it was kind of, I got in the, when I was old enough to listen to music and stuff, it was tape at first, but it was just right at the end of tape, and then CDs came out. But you would still have like the big booklets full of CDs, you know. But it was, I always thought it was fun, like, oh, so and so's coming out with a new record, and like, and we would go and like, oh, here's a CD, and then like, oh, there's cussing on it, I can't buy it. Like I was super psyched, like Alien Ant Farm when their CD dropped, you know. But we also had MTV that had like the music videos before it came out, so everybody's like, oh, so you knew what was coming out before it happened,
right? Yeah, that's crazy how different music videos are now, because you just put it on YouTube and everyone watches it on YouTube. Yeah. And
the problem with that is I follow so many people on YouTube because I like watching music videos or when they drop new music. And Kayla always makes fun of me because I like some like weird stuff.
So what were we talking
So something that you watch that would seem weird, like either you go, if anybody knew I watched this, they think it would be weird, or even yourself, like, I think it's weird that I personally watch this, but I do like watching it, or you think that somebody would think like, oh, you watch that stuff,
right?
And
so
I'll give you an example if you need one.
Sure.
So like, so mine is, I like watching the hoof guy.
Oh yeah.
So like he trims cows' hoofs. And there's also another guy I follow
would think
that
I would watch that, but I don't because I do it in real life.
So my grandfather was a farrier.
Okay.
And I traveled with him during the summers, and he actually worked on horses. But, you know, he'd trim them up, put horseshoes on them and stuff, and it was always kind of cool. And I kind of helped.
So this guy actually trims cows?
Yeah, but he trims cows. So like,
oh, man.
So these people that
He's
have...
one in a million. No one around here will trim a cow's hoof.
Really? Well, this guy has like an Irish accent. So he may be over in Ireland even. I don't know where he's at. But it's really cool. I like watching his stuff. He's on TikTok, I think, and he also has a YouTube page, I believe. But he'll go get these cows and I think it's like big, like, what do you call it? They have like a bunch of milking cows and stuff, like they're like a dairy farm or something, I guess. Yeah. So he'll get the cows, like if they're limping or whatever, they know they need work on. Or some of them he'll check out that he has worked on, and like he'll trim them, find like where they're like got like an infection, and then cut the infection out, and then put some like powder on it that's supposed to help the infection.
Yeah, they usually put
like a rubber sole on the other side to keep pressure off of that side. I love watching it. I don't know why. Kayla didn't know that I liked watching it, so this is what brought this whole thing up.
I see.
I'm watching it on YouTube in the living room TV, and she comes and goes, "What are you watching?" I'm like watching this guy trim the hooves up, you know, and it almost made me feel like I was watching something wrong, the way she said it, like I was getting ready to be in trouble, you know. I'm like, and she was just surprised because my daughters, I got one that likes watching Dr. Pol.
Yeah,
she has wanted to be a vet pretty much since day one. And still pushes the idea of being a vet, which is awesome. If she wants to be a vet, it'd be great. You know, definitely try to help her achieve that as she gets older, if that's something she still wants to do. But the fact that from like day one, so she watched Dr. McStuffins. Do you know who that is? The cool cartoon. Yeah. So that's kind of like a vet, but for stuffed animals. Well, she loved and watched that and had toys of it. And then now she watches Dr. Pol, which is like real stuff, and still very much into it. I think it's gross.
Yeah,
because it's not cutting a hook. Like they're cutting into animals and like doing like ugh, no thanks.
Yeah,
but they're like super into it, and so she was surprised because you don't like when they watch it. I said, yeah, but he's cutting hooves. He's not, you know, giving a heart transplant to this cow with guts laying everywhere. You know, that's usually what they're watching.
Right. Oh, that's great. Yeah, no, I don't.
Nothing like that.
I guess if someone didn't know me, they would be surprised. But I don't think anyone that knows me would be surprised by what I watch. Like, on YouTube, the thing is, the things that I follow on YouTube, I follow, like, really closely. Like, I watch, like, every single thing that they put out. So I don't have enough time to watch a lot.
Right.
So, like, I watch UFC. I watch comedy commentaries. I have 2 comedy commentary channels I watch.
I wish you didn't use your phone. for this. Because I would have us pull up. Well, I think I can pull yours up because I'm connected to
Yeah.
it. So what we're gonna do? I'm gonna pull. It'll just be fun. We'll pull it up and we'll see like what our follows are. What are we
Right.
following?
Right.
think
I
we can.
follow a lot, but like I just go to my subscriptions feed and scroll through the people and watch a few people. You know what I mean? And
So-
then I watch music reviews, and that's basically it.
So if we look at mine, I got Poker Go, Stone Mountain. I got both of his pages. So he plays video games like Modern Warfare and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Beard Meets Food, awesome. I love watching that guy. So he does all the food challenges. He's in the UK, so but he travels like the United States, does food challenges. Rogue Fitness, so like powerlifting, working out stuff. The Rad Brad.
Most relevant.
Yeah, so these are what I watch the most, kind of in order.
So most relevant to you or most relevant
to me. So this is whatever I click on. So if I went down the bottom down here,
It's what you watch the
and
least.
started watching a bunch of them, they would move up the scale.
I didn't know that.
So Poker goes at the top,
I see.
but they
Interesting.
But they bring out 5-minute videos of like watch these like couple poker hands that are like the top poker hands of this tournament. So I watch a lot of it. Stone Mountain I
Interesting.
watch all the time. Beard Meets Food, his videos are short but awesome to watch him like eat all this junk, and he's like really thin. He looks like Jesse body style, but just eats unreal amounts of food. But yeah, another video. So the Rad Brad. So he does video games. World's Strongest Man, Nate the Hoof Guy, which is different than the guy on TikTok that has the Irish accent.
Okay.
I'm not sure what his name is. So they're actually two different people. Remington James, Martins Lisi. So like influencers, he's a World's Strongest Man. Martins is.
Okay.
Remington, like he has like foods that he makes that are like low calorie, high protein. So that's kind of like the top. I'm going to go through all of it, but that's like the top ones anyways for me.
Interesting.
But I mean, you can see all this stuff. Look at all this stuff.
Right. Yeah. I have
it's
tons
nuts.
of subs as well. I'm subbed to tons of people just because I like what they do, and so I want to support them by subscribing, but I don't actually watch anything they put out. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, you can pull up mine, right?
Let's look at yours. We'll see. I've never actually looked at yours through here.
So
I think
you can just hit library.
Oh, go to library.
Now hit the picture up there, and hit the arrow on the right.
Yeah.
Then you can click on that. Hey, we got a subscriber.
Woo woo. Turn on.
No.
No, thanks.
Yeah.
I already get so much stuff from your email. It's unreal. So let's go subscriptions. All. So you just got yours A through Z.
Right. Well, I think you can change it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Most relevant.
Let's see what it looks like. So Cliff Beats.
Yeah. So he does music reviews.
So go through it here. What we watching?
Office Blokes. There's no way that's most relevant for me. I watch them a little bit, but they're
Have you watched them recently?
yeah,
That's
probably.
why.
Yeah.
So even though it's not necessarily that you watch it more than maybe some of these other ones, it's also the most recent one you watch. So
right.
if I get one that's all the way down on my list that I watch, they won't go immediately to the top. They will come up a few.
Right.
But if I watch 3 or 4 in a row, like, oh, you're on a big kick with this person, so then they'll shoot to the top.
I see. Yeah. So, yeah, and then Chael Sonnen, obviously. Another music reaction. See, that's comedy, commentary. All three of those guys do commentaries.
No, I don't think I've ever heard of these.
Another
guys.
music reaction. Myself, apparently. Because, like I said, I like watch every video to make sure I didn't mess up. Another comedy, commentary.
Okay.
Another reaction. He's a music theory guy, Adam Neely.
Okay.
He's awesome. Dude Perfect is obviously
yeah.
Dude Perfect. I'm surprised they're that high. It's because I watched one the other day.
Right.
But I rarely
so they
watch
may
them.
have been like way down there or something.
Right.
Yeah, all it takes is like to watch a little bit of their stuff and they will start to climb.
Right.
And if you do enough in a row, they'll actually shoot to like the very top.
Right. So Amisi is also music reaction. Nick Simmons is a fitness guy. I don't know if you've ever seen him. He does he just will like go to college campuses and be like, if you can do 10 pull-ups, then I'll give you $1,000.
I've seen that guy. Yeah.
And then Jimmy High Roller, he's amazing. He does
Is he a high roller?
no, he does he makes basketball videos,
Okay.
and they're really, really good. Like, he just
I will
put
say,
so much work into
So
them.
we've gone probably about the
Amazing.
same distance on yours.
Yeah.
And only one basketball one towards the bottom of
Right,
like your
both
top.
those guys are basketball,
15, 10-ish, or probably about 15.
Yeah.
I would assume there would have been a basketball one up higher. Just knowing. For some reason, I think of like Danny when I see that. Like, I feel like that could be his page.
But yeah, well, see, I do watch NBA like every single day. I'll watch the full game highlights
On
But-
YouTube or
on YouTube, but I'm not subscribed to NBA because they post so much.
okay.
So I'm not subbed to them, but I watch them every single day. So they would actually NBA would probably be at the top, but I'm not subbed, so that's why it's not showing it.
Okay. So I do that with like NFL, but I actually am subbed to their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I find myself not clicking on it and watching it. I'd rather watch the games than like the highlight. Like, it'll show the highlights for the whole weekend, and sometimes I'll watch it, but I don't know.
Like
I find
that
myself.
I don't like that very much, but I like watching full game highlights. So what they do in NBA is it's just one game.
Right, but they
And
pick like the main points
it's just
out of
play
it or
by
something?
play, basically. Like every play that they score, basically they'll show it.
Well, they probably
And-
do it for that too, but when it comes to football, it's like 3 or 4
5.
things.
Yeah, right.
It's not going to be very long, like 5 seconds long.
Right. It's about nine minutes.
Touchdown,
In
field goal.
basketball.
How's it?
Right. So it's like you watch the whole game in 9 minutes, and you can get just as tense as because it still shows the score, and it gets close, and you get to watch
I think
the
what
last
ruins
basket.
me for it is I do look at the scores on the weekend, so I already know
Oh,
who wins. So
yeah,
it's
that
not,
ruins
it's not
it
like I'm
totally.
like, oh, who's going to win? I already know who won. So I think
Right.
it does kind of ruin watching that.
Right.
And I have gotten away from like sports shows the older I've gotten. Like, usually it goes the other way. Like, usually the older you get, like, the more into news and like sports shows you get. I'm actually getting away from it. However, PTI will always remain my favorite. I
have no
can't
idea
watch
what that
them.
is.
Pardon the interruption. That's what it is. With Michael Wilbon. It's great. So it's got 2 older guys. And when I had cable and could watch them, I watched them every day. It's a weekly show, a daily show, Monday through Friday. It's usually in the afternoons around like 3-4 o'clock, and then they'll replay it a couple hours later for the people who get off later. I loved it. Never missed a show if I didn't have to. Don't have cable, can't watch it. But I found out here recently that they're on Spotify. Their show is.
Oh, cool.
It's just the audio version. But I enjoy them that much that I can listen to them on the audio, and it's great. So
Awesome.
so I'm kind of getting some sports news through that, listening to them. But they're cool. They kind of go back and forth, and I got that kind of older attitude still.
Mm-hmm.
Not very apologetic for things,
Right.
And they're still on ESPN, which is cool. So
Yeah. Sweet. Well,
wow,
you want what?
we've been going for a while.
Yep. We went to like 3,500 last time.
Oh,
went for
did
a
we
long
really?
time. Yeah.
What, was that counting all the stuff after it too, though?
What?
The improv stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, just this is pretty
Yeah,
far.
pretty long.
Well, you are going to cut out like half of it.
Do you have a basketball player for me?
I totally forgot. Goodness.
Well, do you want to do some improv real quick?
We can. Do you have anything in mind off the top of your head?
All right. You are turning me into HR for harassment.
Oh my gosh. Well, you got to kind of set it up a little bit. So, like, we're not going to obviously have anybody responding to anything I say, right? Like, if I go to HR and I turn you, I'm not talking to anybody. So, am I just making that part up or what?
Yeah, we'll just... So, like...
Are we both in there?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
you're like
so I literally
presenting me
took-
to
Oh
each other
no! All right. Just give me 1 second here.
All
Let's see if I can what I can think of before we just wing it like we've been doing. Oh my gosh, keeping a straight face on this one's gonna be tough. All right. Hey, we got to talk about this. Jason did something to me, and I think he's going to have to be fired for it.
I don't know what he's talking about personally. Would you like to elaborate and describe this situation?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why I have to explain it to you. You were there. There I was in the break room reading the newspaper, and Jason put his hand on my thigh. Now, I asked him to do that, but he put his other hand on my shoulder. I didn't want that. He went too far.
So, according to you, shoulder is more personal than thigh.
Yeah, it's close to my face. You could have COVID fingers.
Okay, so like you're not a big fan of me, like you wouldn't want me to like rub my fingers through your hair.
No.
Okay.
Maybe my back hair, but not the hair on my head.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't do it though.
We're in the break room. It's on camera. If it works.
Yeah, I made sure to. I mean,
I heard that.
I don't know if it works or not.
It would work better if we had somebody that was HR to talk back.
Yeah.
We got to have somebody responding to that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we need to do it when we have a guest on. We should do that bit again.
There you go. Yeah.
You got a scenario idea?
Yeah. I mean, we can do even some of the other ones we've done before, and just change the outcome or the situation a little bit.
Or a lot.
Yeah. I feel like we're kind of onto something with like someone either being in a plane or like a rocket ship and the guy being ground control. I feel like there's something with that, but we just haven't found exactly what it is yet. Part of that just like it does intrigue me. Like there's something I feel like there's definitely something we can do with it, but it turns wrong almost every time we do it somehow. I don't know why. We both get off track of what the other person might be thinking, and then we end up, it gets weird and out of control. All right. So I'll even give us a. Oh wow. There they go. You live in a rough neighborhood. So here's what we'll do. I'll even give you like a beginning and an end as far as like when the scene's over. So we even have like an end point. So you're going to be an astronaut.
Okay.
Getting into a spaceship, getting ready to launch into outer space.
Okay.
Right. So you're going to go through the preparations. I'm going to be ground control. We're going to be talking through whatever. And then when you take off, that'll be the end of the scene. So it's just the takeoff part that we're doing.
Okay. All right. I am inside the vessel.
Okay. Go ahead and take your seat at the front.
Where? It's already at the front.
You go sit in the seat at the front.
Oh, okay.
Where do we get this guy?
Okay, I'm sitting.
Do you make that sound every time you sit?
Yes.
I mean, you probably get that checked out. Anyways, he's probably gonna lift this anyways. So, go ahead.
Sorry, what?
And what? Sorry, we must be getting some feedback from somewhere. That wouldn't.
Do we need to change channel? Here, I'm gonna go to channel 2.
Don't. Go back to channel 1.
Why?
This is
I thought there's
not
feedback on channel 1.
This is not a secure line.
Okay.
Go back to channel 1.
Going to channel 1. Click.
All right. Are you on this channel?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just making sure, Maybe you turned it the wrong way and are on channel 3. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Check out the levers in front of you there. Do not hit the big red button.
Which big red button? This big red button?
Don't hit it. Don't
Okay.
hit it. No.
Okay.
You're not ready yet.
Okay.
All right. So there's the big red button on your right. Don't hit that one.
Okay, what about the one to my left?
We'll come to that. Don't hit it yet.
I don't want to come to that.
You're not going to have a choice, all right? You should have read the manual.
Oh, man.
It's in the manual.
What am I on?
So go ahead and put your seatbelt on.
Okay. Click. Click.
What about the third one? There's 3.
Click.
All right. Good. All right. So check out everything. Make sure your fuel gauge is on.
Fuel gauge is on. It says empty.
Does it have power yet? Have you turned the key?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, turn the key.
Click.
All right. Now what does it say?
Now it says empty.
Is it so it's on the E?
I think that's an E from what I can tell. Last time I learned in homeschool, I had...
You should have taken mini classes on this, not in homeschool. You don't become an astronaut by schooling.
No, just letters.
Okay. Hey guys, can we get somebody checked it out? Make sure it has fuel. Apparently we have none, if he's reading it correctly. All right, so we got some guys on that. Sorry about that. Obviously can't go anywhere without that. So
Yes, indeed.
Are all your other gauges turned on, lit up?
Yes, everything looks fine. This one gauge, like over here to my right, it's like all the way at F. Is that a bad sign?
Is it the fuel gauge?
No, my fuel gauge is on E.
So what's it labeled? This other one that's on F.
It is labeled. It just has like a tank sign on it.
All right, guys, just cancel that order. I'm just we're okay. I'm not sure what you're looking
Why
at.
are you canceling the order?
Just don't worry about it. This guy's definitely dying. All right, so
What?
this is more of that feedback we were getting. This guy's eating. The guy to my right's eating chips, and it's it's making like so it's making it sound like other stuff's coming through, but it's not.
Okay.
All right,
Sorry, I
guys,
got nothing to
just
come
call
home
his
to.
family. Just prepare. You know what I'm saying? All right, go ahead and actually start the ship.
Is that the big red button on my right or my left?
Hold on, we're having some more interference. Give me the manual. I don't remember. Yeah. Sorry. Hey, I'm back. We got it fixed. It's the button on your left.
Okay.
Yeah. So go ahead and hit that one.
All right.
Why are you taking your seatbelts off?
To get to the button.
You should be able to reach it.
I cannot reach this button.
Are you in the front seat?
Yes.
I don't think you are. You should be able to reach everything right
Okay,
there.
I'm 5 foot tall. I think this ship was made for someone like 6'2".
Am I talking to the captain of the ship or the monkey that's going with the captain?
Have you ever met a monkey who can talk?
Yeah. I feel like I'm speaking to one now.
Well, maybe. Well, if I'm a monkey, I'm strong enough to hold on. Click. Wait, I thought you said the left button would just turn the engine on.
Sorry, I had the manual upside down. My bad.
Well, what does the right red button do then?
I don't know. Told you he wasn't gonna make it. That one went a little better, I think.
Yep.
I feel like there's definitely something with that. I don't know. I personally like that one. And it does, and not necessarily has to be like a plane or like a rocket, but just like someone on the outside of a job, someone on the inside of a job. That they're communicating with, doing whatever.
Right.
I feel like that's kind of like a cool one.
Yeah.
Got an idea for one?
How about one of us is teaching a history class, and one of us is a student that thinks what the teacher's saying is wrong, or might be right what the teacher is saying is wrong, but basically the student is arguing with the teacher.
All right. Can I be the student?
Sure.
All right. Yeah.
All right. So, as you can see here, we have we're going to watch the film of JFK being shot.
Ooh, all right. Like guns.
It's a pretty mind-blowing experience.
Hey, I own some guns.
Okay, that is irrelevant.
Oh, sorry. Pretty good shot too.
Okay. Hopefully
Right,
not
Jeff?
on people. I'm sorry?
Huh?
Why would Jeff know you're a good shot?
Oh, yeah. We go shooting all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty
Let's
good.
pay attention.
Yeah, I am. Guns, got it. Shooting.
No, that's not the point of this.
I think this film will be mind-blowing.
That's what I
Get it?
just said. Are you high on pot noose?
No, not at all.
All right. So, as you can see, this is his wife next to him in the car. And you see that first shot, she gets concerned, but she can't really tell what's going on, it seems like. Then,
Yeah, women are always confused.
bang, there's that.
Sweet. Awesome.
Because a lot of people, like, kind of get uneasy at that part
Why?
because someone just died.
Not really. It's just a movie.
No, this is real.
No, we're watching a movie. It's not real.
No, this is real. This is the actual footage from the actual JFK.
Yeah, and I've seen people stuck on an island. Got it. It's all real.
Sometimes that's real as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Gilligan's Island. Yeah.
No,
Real
not
stuff.
that one. Okay. Very, very different. This is not a movie. This is real. All right. So, as we can see here, what was that?
What?
What did you just?
Somebody left a window open or something. Breezy in here.
Huh.
Hear that wind blow through?
No, but okay. Anyway, as we can see here, here in this specific time period, JFK lost his mind. Luckily, his wife found it, but
He's trying to make a joke.
it's definitely believed that a lot of people believe the CIA killed John F. Kennedy, but there is a man that admitted to
Aliens.
doing definitely not aliens.
You can't say definitely not aliens.
I can
You don't
definitely
know.
say definitely not aliens.
No.
Okay. Do you want to get kicked out of this class?
Of course not. This is awesome. Watching movies, you know.
This is not a movie. For the last time.
Is it on a DVD?
No.
What's it on?
The internet.
Oh, YouTube? Oh my gosh.
Not YouTube. It's banned off YouTube. I'm sorry.
Okay. Got it.
I'm probably going to get fired for this, but I think it's worth the learning experience.
Don't worry, I got your back. I'll go to bat for you.
You don't need... You got a bat? That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I'll go to bat for you. You know what I'm
Thank
saying? I just told you it was a good shot.
No, not
Oh.
guns.
Oh.
No guns.
Okay,
No
sorry.
need guns. I just thought you had like a bat. Like,
Yeah. AR bat. stock's made out of wood from a bat. I can swing it so fast you'll never see it coming. Just like this guy we're watching.
I'm done with that one.
Done?
I don't
Right.
I don't really see where it could go from there.
That's funny. That was pretty good. I like that one. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I think this is the end.
This is
My
the
friend.
end.
Say goodbye to your family.
We're just dust in the wind.
Wait, how can you dust the wind?
Little.